Hello, you beautiful human you. Welcome to today's video. What are we talking about? How to get through the boring shit and actually make it fun. Especially if you are neurospicy, building a business can be a little difficult. But I want to share some tips and tricks with you about how I make the boring shit fun and be able to maintain some sense of consistency and enjoy what I'm doing at the same time as much as possible. We've all been there, right? Or maybe you haven't been there yet, but you're getting ready to mayhaps end up in the messy middle if you're just starting. Because when you first start a business, you're full of fire, full of energy, and there's not a whole lot of things that can get shoved in your way that will bring that down. And the same goes for when you're nearing completion of a goal. You also, because you can see the light at the end of the tunnel, you don't have as much of that ick going on about doing the humdrum or the boring shit because you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. When you're in the messy middle of building and wondering if your people actually are seeing what you're doing, whether what you're doing is actually moving the needle forward, or whether you're just spinning your wheels and wasting your time. That's when the shit gets hard and things that you really don't love doing feel really humdrum and more boring. For example, I was on a call this morning with a friend, a business friend, was talking about my day, like what I needed to do. And a lot of it today is around creating content. So I just got done. The first thing on my list was creating one more batch of ads for Skool to run for the platform. And then I wanted to create this YouTube video that I'm filming and also perhaps another one. So I have another backup for next week in case I don't feel like filming and messing with it and anything like that. And then I have one more challenge video for the challenge that we're doing in my free Skool group around having 2 weeks worth of content by the end of this week. So after they do the activity that I'm going to post today, they will have 2 weeks worth of content by following the 3 different activities that I've posted over this week. But the other benefit of that is to be able to hold the content and be able to drip it over time so that that also builds into creating consistency without burning out, without the ick that happens in your brain when you feel like you have to create content, you should be doing this every day, you need to do this, right? It breaks it all down. Anyways, I have another video that I have to post for today. And then it's a little trickier because I'm going to be sharing about what apps I use for editing and how I edit in a way that is rather simple, but still very effective. So there was that on the calendar too for today. And part of my being is like, I just would rather not. And some days that's okay for me. Like I'm very much in tune with my inner being. So if I need to take a day off, I don't hesitate to do that. However, today it's more like I don't really necessarily need to do it. And then when I was walking through about how much time it would take me to create these different things that I need to get done, I was like, in the grand scheme of things, it's really not that much time and effort compared to the payoff that I'm going to get and knowing that I have shit taken care of and I don't have to rush through it later or worry about it this weekend. I can just be. And then here's one of my big tips. Do not hesitate. I know it feels kind of like a childhood thing, like you have a sticker chart or, you get rewarded. I'm here to tell you that if you're neurospicy, it's especially important. So when I get this shit done, I've already got my Skool ad set recorded. I haven't edited it, but that can be later this afternoon while again, with the neurospicy, like I can watch a movie while I'm editing and posting it where it needs to post and all of that. And then I'm recording this one and we'll see if I feel the desire to make the second one. I at least needed to do this one because that challenge post video that I need to make, I need to show the apps I use. And I want to show a little bit of how I clip things and what things that I use. There's only a couple of things on the 2 different apps that I use and explain a little bit about why I'm doing it and how, and show them so that they can do it themselves. That requires me to have, and yes, I have other content that I can use, but that turns it almost into like a game, right? So the Skool ad was filmed in like vertical format. This one's filmed in horizontal format. So I use 2 different apps to edit each one. So I use one app for reel format or for Instagram content, and I use a different app for like this long form horizontal type content. So now by the time I get done with this video, I'll have these two brand new, I don't have to scroll through my photos. I don't have to figure out which other content bits that I can like pretend edit. I can just edit these ones and screen record and talk into the phone explaining what I'm doing. So then I don't have to necessarily come back later or shoot a separate video. And then what I'll do is I'll take that video and put it in between the introduction and the closing of the challenge post for today. So it kind of got me excited. Like if you can find a way to get excited about what you're doing. So like sometimes it's just verbally processing with somebody else, like breaking it down. Maybe it works better for you if you just write it out. Maybe you're a to-do list person, right? And you like checking things off. Me, I don't love brain dumping, but I am going to have to do that later today or tomorrow because there are some things with a lot of moving pieces that I want to finagle with and like switch up in my Skool community, and I need to be able to like see it all in one space. So there are occasional times that I do create like a brain dump list. I also take breaks. So I took a 15-minute break in between shooting the Skool ad and shooting this video. So that way I could just breathe for a minute. Like I'm not go all the time. I could be, but I find that I burn out a lot quicker. But also like once I'm done with these three things, like these three different types, I have the rest of the day. So like, well, kind of. I'm a mom, so I've got to like make lunch, do that. But then in the afternoon, I can do whatever the heck I want, like, and move more into like what my body is calling me to do, like what I really want to do for the day. And like I can turn my music up loud. I can create some sort of artistic expression, like either, you know, with editing or creating graphics or on my phone or physically, like with paint or pencils or things like that. I can go out and walk, although it's freaking hot outside today, so that's probably not going to happen unless I do it in the evening. So doing a reward is one of the biggest things. Then also situating what I'm doing in order of the amount of time it takes and or energy expenditure that I know it takes. So the same friend I was talking with earlier, he was telling me about the three things that he wanted to do today. He wanted to shoot an ad and do some cleanup work in his classroom. And then there was something, a YouTube video, a how-to video of some sort, review of something. So based on conversations that he and I have had in the past and my own knowledge of what it actually takes bandwidth-wise to create content, especially if you're new to it or you're just getting into the ebb and flow of it again, it takes a lot more energy and it can leave your bandwidth really low, or you need more recharge time after something like that compared to something that you've been doing for a long time. So like he's been creating the how-to content for a long time, so he knows that that's not going to take as much of his bandwidth as creating this other newer kind of content. So it's like, hey, you probably should do this new kind of content at the end. So that way you can get through the stuff that's easier for you, and then you have the thing at the end that you know is probably might take more energy out of you. So that way you're not doing that at the beginning and then just kind of meh through the rest of the stuff if you even get through it. So like figuring out what order to do your things in, not overwhelming yourself with the amount of shit you need to do. So like take one thing at a time. Like I ended up having three things. Some days I just have one-on-one calls that I do. Some days it's just a group call and then I join other calls. Some days it's revamping. Some days it's creating content. Some days it's creating short form. Other days it's long form. So like figuring out what works best for you and then ordering things in a way that is easy on your nervous system. So you're pushing your growth edges slightly, but not so hard that you end up burnt out for a whole entire day and a half or whatever amount of time. That takes practice. It's not like you just figure it out instantly and that sort of thing. So like you can dip your toes in, play around with things, test things out. Don't ever be afraid to test things out. Because when you test, you can decide, well, this worked, this didn't. I can go back to the way I was doing it, or you can try a different way, like pivot a little bit and see how it goes. So rewards, ordering things in an order that makes sense for you, as far as like the other comparison is like you have so many spoons in a day. And I know a lot of neurospicy folks are familiar with the spoons metaphor. Like you've got a certain amount of spoons a day, and then each different thing that you need to do or that you choose to do takes a certain amount of spoons. So just make sure that the order you're doing things in still leaves you with a spoon left. and that you're not doing the thing that takes all of the bulk of your spoons before you do the things that take less. And then the third thing, we'll just do 3 steps. Not that I'm fully like gung-ho about 3 steps too, because it's kind of chintzy, like a chat thing, but kind of organically here. It'll just end up being, these are the 3 top things that I choose to do. There are other things I do too, but these are the main things that I do to help myself get into a groove, not get overwhelmed, not feel like I'm doing all the boring shit. So that's another small tip if you didn't gather that from what I said earlier. Like, the boring stuff, like the stuff that I have to do, like, it's not that I do enjoy this, and typically it's once I start, I'm good. Like, once I created that ad reel, I was super stoked to jump on here because I know that then I can, like, it almost leads seamlessly into the other video I have to create. And so it starts creating energy for me and makes it more fun. But then also, like, breaking it up. You can go and do stuff, like do something and then reward yourself. Go get yourself a cup of coffee, go out and have a minute in the sunshine, like while you're scrolling or whatever. Set an alarm if you need one, because you don't want to be like doom scrolling while you're supposed to be doing other stuff. Give yourself breaks. It's okay. You don't have to sit down and do everything all in one fell swoop. I know that's what we're taught in school, but we're not in that kind of school anymore. So if you're somebody that has trouble with starting, figuring out how to just, well, I can start this maybe even for 1 minute. Or maybe I can start and do 10 minutes worth and then take a break. But typically, if you get started, that's typically the hardest part, is to actually start. And once you start, then it will compound. And then you might get more excited about it. But then add the reward on top. And then the last one is switch things up. If you know you have to create an email sequence, or you have to do something in your community, or you have to do something on socials, like you have editing to do, video editing to do, you have things you need to create in Canva. If you're always sitting in the same spot, so like this video, like you'll notice it's a different background. It's a different part of the room that I normally film in, and so I'm not sitting in my chair. But that's okay. Like, I didn't feel like moving my, full disclosure, clean clothes, but not hung up, not dirty enough to go into the laundry bin pile, off my chair and situate over there. Like, I already had my tripod because I was standing up recording here for the reels that I was making. So I just shortened it and I sat, and here we are. So not being afraid to switch it up. Maybe you go to the coffee shop. Maybe you take your laptop or your phone outside and work. Maybe you get yourself a special treat on grocery day so that you can have it while you're doing this boring thing. One of the things about creating ads for the Skool platform lately has been that because I'm in a group with others that are doing it, and like, I'm always wanting to try new things. I get inspired to try different locations to film at, different types of filming, different ways to do like transition in and out of a shot with this face front content, right? So that's always, creating content and saying similar things all the time gets to be kind of boring sometimes. But like we mentioned in a previous video, like, figure out what makes you comfortable, figure out where you like, but also don't be afraid to try different things, because that helps push those growth edges, helps spur on creativity, and that also bleeds into other things. So like, I'm getting more creative with what I'm doing for this specific thing, for the ads that I'm creating, but it's also bleeding into helping me think outside of the box even more with what I want to do with my classroom and my school community. So that's the other thing. I don't even know if I can give you a recap of the 3 things, but I think we've chatted long enough about this, and I'm ready to take my break and then get on to the next thing. And then I get to make some food and enjoy playing with kids and be able to take some time for myself. So if you've enjoyed this content and you'd love to see more, hit the follow button. Or if you have a friend that you want to share this with that's been going through some shit, or they're building their own business, hit the share button and send it to them. And always, I hope you have a freaking amazing week, and we will see you on the next one.